Hey, it's Millie here. Thanks for tuning into this episode. Just in case you don't know, this is part 2 of episode 12. So if you haven't already, be sure to check out part 1 because this is a continuation of that conversation. Without further ado, let's get back into it. I really I agree so much with what you just said because I really do feel like smiles, just a little wave, a nod even can go such a long way for people. To your point of being aware of others and just kind of gauging what they need, do you have any advice I could say for parents or caretakers of those who have different abilities? Just, living
It
with them and stuff.
you know what? It was so funny. Um, oh gosh, this may have been 10 years ago, maybe 10, 11 years ago. At my son's school, they had Exceptional Children's Week, and they wanted me to be the speaker.
Mhm.
And then I said, "Me?"
Oh.
I said, "I don't have anything to say. I just know, what I do for my kid." They said parents need to hear,
Yes.
it's because of course that was elementary school, but they were saying parents need to hear basically what to do because some parents don't. So advice that I have is to be visible in your child's life, at school, at
Mm.
home, in the community. And for the school part, a lot of people, or a lot of parents, excuse me, go to the EIP meetings, the IEP meetings, and that's your plan for your child. And they go to the meetings and they just say yes to whatever it is that's on that plan. So the plan
Mm.
says that these are the milestones, these are the goals that we're going to work on. Um, in this time frame and things like that, and they just sign off, and that's it, and that's what the teacher's supposed to work on. But with me, we're going through it with a fine-tooth comb, because if it's something, because a lot
Mm.
of it's a lot of paperwork, and I hate
Okay.
that the teachers have to do that paperwork, but it's what's necessary to make sure that the students are reaching milestones, that they're getting their academic education that they're supposed to receive, for free,
Mhm.
education. And so for me, if I don't, we'll go through everyone, and if I don't agree or if I need clarification, I ask questions, and I take notes and I come with
Mhm.
questions. I don't just sit back and let them tell me. No, I'm going to tell you what I want for my kid. Yes, he is
Yes.
the with you the longest at school, and I'm a supplement of you, because whatever you're doing at school, I do at home. But if I feel his goal, and this is just an example, to count row count 1 to 5, I'm like, no, he's 6. He can count 1 to 10, to stretch the goal
Yeah.
or to make it challenging for them. So, and as the parent, they have to agree with it. We'll have the conversation
Mm.
back and forth. They will say, okay, let's just try to 8, whatever. But I'm going to have a conversation about all this that's
Yeah.
on this paper. And they have what is called a parents' rights and responsibilities. Every school system, they have what your rights are
Okay.
as a parent, if you have a child with special needs. And on those rights, I'm going to give you a good example when I pulled those rights out.
Mhm.
When Brent was in middle school, when he was in the 6th grade, this particular school was a one-to-one with devices. And
Okay.
so as a parent, the students got Chromebooks, but the parent had to watch this video and say that they'll be responsible for this Chromebook that the child is supposed to have. So I did that. Again, I'm new, 6th grade. This is the first time in this school. They don't know me. But the school that
Mhm.
my son went to, I handpicked that school. I'll say that. The school he was supposed to go to, I visited that school, and when I left the school, I cried. And the reason why I cried is
Oh.
because that classroom environment was not going to be good for my son. Like I told you, he's a social. He's a
Mm.
listener, but he likes to dance, he likes to sing, he's social, he likes to do his
Yeah.
work, he likes to read, he likes whatever. But in this particular classroom, they were sitting at a desk like this. I stayed there for maybe like 20 minutes, and they were at a desk. And it
Mm.
was quiet, and they did worksheet, and then when they came at, the teacher said, here's another worksheet, and then when they did that, it was another worksheet. I was there, like I said, 20 minutes, and they did like 3
Oh.
worksheets sitting at it. I'm like, my son will always be in trouble
Mm-mm.
in this class because he wants to get up and stretch, or or whatever. And I'm like,
Yeah.
no. And I cried. So they have in that school system, it's called a SB10 scholarship, where you apply for the scholarship, and it's
Mhm.
not money wise, but what it is as a parent you get to choose where you want your child to go, and the only thing is you have to bring them and take them to school. Like the bus isn't going to come since it's not your neighborhood school.
Okay.
So the where I went and cried was our neighborhood school, but I did the SB10 scholarship and got approved for it. And so I chose which school. So where he was, that I visited that school, and so I love that school. So, and I went to visit. This is the same guy where it was homogeneous, and I went to visit. I told him the type of parent I was. I'm hands on. I'm a supplement of your classroom. Whatever you need, I got you. If I need to talk to somebody or write a letter, I'm that person. So 6th grade comes around, and again they're doing the Chromebooks, and I did the parent thing. And so the week later, I emailed the media specialist and I said, well, when are the books rolling out? So I'll know, so I can look out for it when Brent comes
Mm.
home with it. And she said, oh, no, we're not rolling out till next week, whatever. And I was like, okay. Now, mind you, step back, I emailed her from my work email, which we worked at the same school system, not the same school, but the same school. So she knows I'm an employee of this same.
Okay.
And so she said, oh, not till next week. And so then maybe a couple of days later, she replied again, and she said, oh, she said, Brent won't get a Chromebook. She said, they have iPads in the classroom that they use. And I said, oh, man.
Oh.
I said, she doesn't even know. Honey, I pulled out those rights and responsibilities, and I replied to her. I attached the principal, assistant principal, the teacher, the lead teacher of special ed, her, the lead teacher of the person that's over the media center, and no, we're not doing
Mm.
this. I said, my son is a student in this school, and every student is a one-to-one, so he needs to get this advice. I just went on, and my rights and responsibilities
Yeah.
say this. And as a parent, I filled out the form. He's not going to break it. He's not, which I get for her defense. I guess maybe she thought that maybe he was a behavior person or what, I don't know. But again, I'm
Mm.
an advocate for my son. So I'm like, no, if he
Yeah.
goes to this school, he's supposed to get a Chromebook. He's getting the Chromebook. And so the teacher told me, and I texted the teacher, and I told him, I said, oh, your media specialist has messed up with me. And I told him what happened. He said, I saw your email. I saw your email. And I was like, okay. So then he told me when I picked him up from school, she came down there and she said, what's the deal with Brent's mom? And he said all he told her was, it'll be in your best interest to give Brent that Chromebook. And I said, you told her right, because you're not gonna tell my son no. He's a person enrolled in this school. He's gonna get all
Yes.
the bells and whistles of what everybody gets. So sure enough, maybe an hour later, they go, Miss Merrill, do you want to pick up the Chromebook, or do you want it in his book bag? I said, put it in his book bag, not a problem. And my thing is, I'm easygoing. I didn't curse. I used my professionalism, because I know that I'm right in this situation. You're not going to downplay him
Mm.
just because he's in a confined multi-grade classroom that you don't even know him,
Yeah.
So saying that to say, the advice is stay active in your child's life from still
Mm.
after they graduate. Don't let anyone tell you something that you're not comfortable with, or if you have questions about anything, ask, because that's their responsibility. They
Yeah.
have to answer your questions and make sure you understand. But if you don't ask because you're scared, or you don't want to feel like you don't know, then you're doing the child the disservice. So I would say, like I said,
Mm.
stay active, in the school, ask questions, stay active in the classroom as well, because my son's school, they did a lot of field trips, they did a lot of cooking because they had home ec. I donated, I came in to help, I visited and watched them. And a lot of things is sometimes things are, sometimes you get a teacher that is not doing anything in that classroom, and you don't know as
Yeah.
a parent if you don't go visit. So all they're doing is babysitting. Unfortunately,
Mm.
there are educators like that. And that happened to Brent in the ninth grade. There was a teacher there that every time we came home, there was nothing in the book bag, like no homework, no. I'm like, what's going on in the class? And it was COVID,
Yeah.
so we could not go in to visit per se. So I'm like, what's going on? Nothing is in the book bag. I'm checking that same folder I put in there is empty with his name on it, whatever. I'm like, man, well, what's going on? I asked the teacher, what's going on? Well, oh, we do this, we do this. And I said, my thing is, I am your support. Whatever you work on at home, handwriting, they do life skills like loading the dishwasher, sweeping, different things like that, because this is high school now.
Mm.
And I said, I need that conversation. They said, well, we don't do, what did she say? We don't do sticker sheets. So what I said, I'm not asking you to do nothing extra. I said, Brent has the he's blessed to have his parents take him and pick him up from school. His dad will take him, I'll pick him up. And we see you, you can have a conversation. Hey, good day today. We worked on handwriting. Hey, good day. We did, or, oh, wasn't it something, because I didn't know what was
Yeah.
going on. The next day, poor thing, the lady had worksheets that she put in the book bag, and it was crumpled up on purpose. And she said
Oh,
Brent did it, which I know was not. And I said, what is all this work? And I'm looking at it, and I guess she was trying to be funny to say, this you won't work, here goes some work. It's like 20 sheets. And
that is
it was,
so rude.
but the point to that is, like I said, some teachers do not have that compassion to teach special needs. So as a parent, if I wasn't that person, I'll just take them and bring them home, take them and bring them home. If I didn't have that conversation, I would not have known. And he was not in that classroom after January, because no, you're not going to continue
Mm.
to be, excuse me, in a space where you're babysitting my kid, where I don't know what's going, excuse me, I don't know what's going on in the class. Excuse me, got a little tickle in my throat. So I
You're
had the
fine.
conversation with the lead teacher, special ed, and I'm like, he has to get out of there, because I'm the wrong parent for this teacher, because we will have meetings every day,
Mm.
every week, and excuse me, when we had our last meeting, I told him, I said, she needs a mentor. I said, she was new to the profession, but there's no excuse. And this is high school.
Yeah.
I said, she needs
Mm.
to have someone teach her how to be a teacher in that classroom. And she'll say stuff
Yeah.
like, Brent didn't come to the board when I called him, because Brent sensed that you don't want to be there, that you don't, so he's not gonna listen, or he's gonna withdraw if he feels like somebody doesn't
Yeah.
like him per se. And I felt like it was probably going to end up being a mistreatment, the way I kept going to the office on her, or calling the office on her. And so I said, he needs to get out of this
Mm.
class, and where he is now is where he was when they took him out. And I love it, I love it. Have a great conversation. His teacher um is from India, and she goes to India over the summer. She calls him over the summer. She sends I mean, she genuinely loves him, and I can tell that she loves my son, and that he's having a great time in her class. He's learning, he's flourishing, and that's what I wanted for him. I didn't want him to be in a classroom where the teacher, the lead person, is giving off negative energy, not teaching, not doing anything, because you're doing him a disservice. I don't
Mm.
want him to be behind. He's already considered behind because of his delay with speech. So I don't need any additional academic behind about him being behind. So just stay, as a parent,
Yeah.
stay on top of everything, question anything, and just support your child, and make sure that whatever plan that the school has for him that you totally agree with it.
Okay. Wow, your mind, like your activeness in the community and everything, I just find that so amazing. I wish I could ask
Thank
you
you.
like tons of more questions, but I definitely want to respect I definitely want to respect your time. So I think I'm really gonna ask you like one and a half questions.
Okay.
Um, do you have any kind of recommendations for books or even movies that people can use to educate themselves and just put forth, like start that first step into learning more and just doing more?
Um, I don't have any titles per se. If someone Googles SEL, there's a curriculum, with SEL, social emotional learning, and
Mm-hmm.
they're and basically they're children's books or books that you read to learn about different emotions or how to express, your emotions, and you can teach that to a child or even an adult. I believe adults can enjoy picture books as well. But there's
Yeah.
so I don't have any, unfortunately, I'm sorry, no books to promote per se. As a parent, um my thing was trial and error. He was my firstborn, so I didn't know. I didn't know, what to
Yeah.
do. I knew, of course, what to expect when you're expecting. That was the
Mm-hmm.
first book.
Yeah.
Um, when Brent didn't get diagnosed with Down syndrome until birth. They knew that something
Mm-hmm.
was going on because of my levels or whatever, and they wanted to do the amniocentesis, and I said no. I said no because in my eyes, it doesn't matter whether whatever something was right or wrong, he was still my baby and I was going to love him. So
Yeah.
amniocentesis is very serious, meaning if, the baby moves while they're, putting the needle in you, you can kill the baby. So that was something
Oh,
on its own that I did because they go in and they try to get fluid from your womb where the baby is and test the fluid to see,
okay.
what is going on, if anything. So I'm like, no, I said, we're not doing that.
Mm-hmm.
So I never read books about Down syndrome because I don't believe sometimes certain things it comes from the heart. Nobody can
Yeah.
teach you because everybody is different. I see kids at school all the
Mm-hmm.
time. And, I've been in education for 23 years. Nobody is the same, but I am mindful of how I treat individual people. This person may need 10 seconds to get themselves together, or this person may need no time in their leader and all this, but they have autism and they could do, so everything is individual.
Yeah.
I was thinking of something when I was talking, something about when you said books. Let me think. Oh, I took my son to, I take advantage of the different evaluations that they can get. I took my son to the Marcus
Okay.
Autism Center, which he doesn't have autism, but it
Mhm.
was a recommendation that I take him there because some of the qualities that he had, and this was when he was younger, mimicked, some of the qualities of someone with
Yeah.
autism. I took him there. There is a center for Down syndrome. It's the Genetic Center at Emory. They have a center there, but for the most part, they have a place called Gigi's Playhouse, and it's for small children, with special needs. And I would say
Mm.
instead of the books, I would see what's going on in the community, like what big corporations are putting on. Like
Mm.
Brent went to a what is it, Shine Bright night or something. Tim Tebow's a football player puts on this prom or
Okay.
dance, but I would say always take advantage of what is going on in the community, especially things that are free. The Special Olympics
Yes.
is free. They have swimming. They have basketball, they have different sports, and to keep yourselves active. But I'll say take advantage and not um necessarily, like I said, just leave them in the house or not do anything. There's a company in Dunwoody. They have free tennis lessons in Dunwoody for people with special needs,
Oh,
and all you have
wow.
to do is um sign up, like say that you're coming, and they'll give you that one-on-one buddy.
Mhm.
And you go, and that's every Saturday. And I can give you these resources later if you ever want to talk about it. There's
Yes.
a like my son goes to it's called DDD Foundation. That's a um
Mhm.
dentist for people with special needs. So it's a different, they are more
Wow.
patient. It's a great facility um, for them, and
Yeah.
they do all ages. It's adults and children. And actually he has an appointment next week. But yes, I love them. I love the patients. He goes every 6 weeks. So it's like, I mean, 6 months, like you and I should go. It's regular.
Yeah.
Appointments. So there, and I also say find a pediatrician that understands the development of your child. All pediatricians don't um
Mm.
I don't want to say cater, are knowledgeable about it. Yes, they know because they're a doctor, but sometimes they cater, like we accept, these, if you see somebody say we accept these patients,
Yeah.
then you will know that they had the schooling, the patience, the knowledge to
Mhm.
handle, because my
The
son
specialization.
used to get anxiety when he goes to the doctor. And so you have to have the doctor that's willing to be patient and
Mhm.
talk to them instead of come on now, get on this table. It's a certain way you have to handle, people that need that sensitivity. There's a um what is it called, website, it's called Parent to Parent, and they have different
Mm.
information on there about things about special needs. They have lists of doctors, they have lists of dentists, they have when people have parent meetings, somewhere. And it's another company that I just became familiar with, and I can't even think of it now, but they have different parent workshops about the different waivers and different programs about Medicaid, and if you want to do a trust, things like that for your kids. So I'll just say be aware. And if the person is childhood age, the teacher, or in a high school they have a transition person, they should be able to you shouldn't have to look at it for yourself. Someone at that school should be able to
Mm.
give you resources that can assist you with your child, and to help you to help them have that transition from elementary to middle to high school and into the real world, with a job. Um, and I think that's about it. There are, like I said, different websites, but book wise, I have not necessarily read any books about it, but it was just trial and error, loving on them with genuine love. So those are my resources.
Okay. Well, no, I have to have you back on. I feel like at this point, after this initial episode comes out, if anyone has questions, like I can bring them back to you. You're such a, you're so full of life and resources and knowledge, and
Oh,
I just
thank
really
you.
love this conversation. Thank you so much for coming on. Oh my
Sure, no
goodness. Oh my
problem.
goodness.
No problem. Any way I can help, someone else that doesn't know or where to begin, like if they were, at birth, because at birth they have a program called Babies Can't Wait. And that program will help
Mm,
you with different therapies, with the child when it's time to feed them or nurse them, or so they do have it. You just have to take
yeah.
advantage of it, and those the Babies Can't Wait, they come to your house. You don't have to go anywhere, and they have different therapies like at Children's Healthcare, if they need physical therapy, occupational therapy, speech therapy. Children's Healthcare offer that. All
Mm,
your all your doctor needs to do is write a prescription for it, and you take it there, and they'll put you on the schedule for whatever 30 minutes, 15 minutes, or whatever the case is. So you just have to know I guess who to talk to, but like I said, you have to choose the right people. Your doctor should be telling you this, and well, the pediatrician,
Yeah.
excuse me, the pediatrician should be telling you this, and then when they get school age, the whoever the advocate in the school should be telling you this. So there are people out there that's
Mm.
supposed to, be your point of contact person. Sometimes it's not,
Yeah.
or again, sometimes it's just like I have a friend that has a daughter with autism, and she'll say, oh, don't forget you're supposed to do it. Oh, okay, I forgot, whatever. So you got to get your support system. You got to get your village
Yeah.
together and just know your resources. And even if your children are not old enough for the transition part, write it down. So when it's time, like I have a notebook that I've had for my son since he was a baby. Like
Mm.
anytime he went to the doctor when he had his tonsils out, I have it down almost like a diary, because if I gotta go back in and say, oh, we did this, I have it, in one spot. So as a parent, start that notebook and have, the different milestones or things that were done or not done, or things that you want to question from later on, and you have it in that one spot so you can be organized and possibly, refer back to it if you need to.
Yes. Oh, yes. You definitely have to come back on. Okay. um, to close out,
Okay.
is there any not advice, like you've given us plenty of advice, but are there any closing words that you want to leave the audience with? And then after, you can tell them how to find you, get in contact if you want them to, and stuff like that.
Okay. Um, Closing words. I would say be authentic in your quest to help someone. Um,
Mm.
and authentic, I'm saying, meaning you have to be that representation for if you have a loved one with special needs, you have to be that representation and not delay the resources or delay the access that child may need, because when if they're diagnosed with
Mm.
something at birth, they can start pre-K at a public school at 3. So if you wait until
Oh,
5
wow.
kindergarten, they have lost 2 years of work that could have been done, that could have hindered something, that could have
Mhm.
changed something from the future. Maybe, maybe not, but we don't know that.
Yeah.
But I would just say, be that authentic advocate and not, when I was told that Brent had Down syndrome, I was like, what am I supposed to do? I don't know. He was a baby. And my
Mm.
thing is, you're going to love him. You're going to love him, and you're going to treat him like a person, because that's what he is, regardless of what he will be able to do or will not be able to do. And, the fear was there that I would not do him a service, like, am I going to give him what he needs? Am
Yes.
I going to be that person that I'm supposed to be? And all I did was pray about it. And I was like, okay, God, you gave me this angel. So that means that you feel that I can take care of him. So that I won't
Mm.
let you down, I won't let him down. So I started day one. And I did cry when they told me, and I cried not because I was sad that he was labeled with something, or his label was, but I cried because am I the right person to raise this child? Am I going to do
Mm.
him right? So, and I think I did a pretty good job. I think so. But after
I
that
Yes.
fear and those tears, I'm like, okay, we're going to hit the ball rolling. We're going to hit the ball rolling. And, he has a younger brother. So it was never a thought in my mind, oh, I don't want to have another one just in case something's wrong with them, whatever. I never had that mentality,
Mm.
because like I said, I treat them both the same. I may have a little patience with my oldest, but be authentic from day one. Don't be ashamed, don't be scared.
Yeah.
Get your person, get your village, for this child. When my son used to go to the Special Olympics events, we had like 20 people coming with us. We had T-shirts, we had people coming from out of town, grandma, grandpa, so everybody, sister, brother, because that's how we look. He knows that we talking about him. He just popped in. He knows that we talking about
Hi.
Brock, I mean, you can come in. You don't want to? Oh, okay.
It's
But I just say be your authentic self and be that responsible person for your child or your loved one. You know, sometimes it's a foster parent, sometimes it's, you know, grandma who really doesn't know. If grandma's
Mhm.
older, you know, she probably is not aware of what autism is, what Down syndrome is, what behavior
Mm,
disorder is, because you know that was something not they didn't have that. Well, I'm not gonna say they didn't have it, but if we weren't aware of, you know,
yeah.
people just say, oh, something wrong with such and such, but it wasn't a
Mhm.
diagnosis or you know something different.
Yeah.
But you know, so I just say be that advocate, ask questions, and um, be true to the person that you're the caregiver for. That's all. Oh, and
Yeah.
so my social media, of course, that does not have anything to do with, you know, me being an advocate or anything, but my Instagram is Denise underscore Forever Beauty. So if anyone wants to ask questions, they can message me, but they have to say that they heard me on It Takes a Village. What's the name? They'll have to say that because I won't answer them if they won't, you know, because I get a
Creating a
lot of
village.
creating a village. I get a lot of people saying, you know, hey, how you doing? All that, So I don't I don't answer
Mm,
those. So they have to
yes.
say, hey, I heard you on It Takes a Village. I heard you on the podcast or something, so that I'll know, you know, that I can
Yes.
open it and safely and read. And any resource that I have is, you know, or anything knowledge that I have or a place to tell you to go, or if I don't know, I can tell you a place to go to find the answer. Um, yep, that's it. That's it.
Yes. Oh, thank you so much.
You're
This is
welcome.
beautiful.
Thank you.
Yes.
I
I
had a
hope
great
you
time.
Oh, I'm glad you had a great time. But yes, I hope that you all were able to learn something. You definitely should have been able to take away plenty of knowledge that I hope that you incorporate into your life. And it doesn't have to be all at once, step by step. Just being a little more thoughtful can make a difference. So thank you so much for tuning in today. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe so that you can continue learning from the different people in our village. Yes. All right, everyone. Remember to continue nurturing a village wherever you go. And I hope that you have a great day. Bye.
Bye bye. Thank you again.